Hello, here's the news of this hour from Tstv. I'm Kende Duritilu. Here are some major headlines. Oyo begins oral interview for 7,000 teaching applicants. OKONJO-IWEALA makes final 2 in WTO race. Namibia bans cattle movement following foot-mouth disease outbreak. And in sports, Eagles undergo COVID-19 test for Algeria. The news in details. Oyo State government has started the oral interview exercise for some 7,000 applicants who scored 50% and above in the computer-based test CBT conducted by the State's Teaching Service Commission, TESCOM. The chairman of TESCOM, Pastor Akiade Alamu, who briefed newsmen on the sidelines of the interview sessions, said successful candidates would receive their letters of appointment before the end of November. Alamu, who said the exercise started about 7 months ago before the outbreak of COVID-19 in the state, following an approval given by Governor Seyi Makinde to recruit teachers, added that teaching and non-teaching staff would be recruited into the service of the state. The TESCOM boss noted that the interview exercise for the non-teaching applicants will commence immediately after the ongoing interview for teaching staff applicants, adding that about 900 of the non-teaching staff who have acquired additional qualifications and have applied to be converted to teaching staff would be recruited along with the new teaching staff. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC Ibadan Zonal Office yesterday arraigned the trio of Adegoke Johnson Adebayo, Ayodele Elijah Olubumi Sunday, and Adelowo Wahid Adewale before Justice Ladino Akintola of the Oyo State High Court Ibadan for 83,500,000 loan fraud. The suspects, who are staff of Osun State Environmental Protection Commission and President, Secretary and Treasurer of the Commission Staff Cooperative Society respectively, allegedly diverted the sum obtained as loan for the Cooperative Society. The EFCC preferred a 10-count charge bordering on conspiracy, abuse of office, stealing, forgery, altering and obtaining money under false pretense. It was reported that they pleaded not guilty to the charges, upon which prosecution counsel Dr. Ben Ubi applied for a trial date and an order for the defendants to be remanded in a correctional facility, while defense counsel A.T. Adile informed the court of a joint bail application of her clients, which he said has been served on the prosecution. The judge, however, adjourned the case till October 14, 2020 for the hearing of the bail application and ordered that the defendants be remanded in the custody of the Nigerian Correctional Service. The Federal Executive Council, FEC, yesterday approved 654 million naira for the deployment of hybrid spectrum monitoring systems targeting illegal frequencies in the southern part of the country, especially the southeast. Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Issa Pantami, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents at the end of the FEC meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Council Chambers, Presidential Villa, Abuja. This is coming on the heels of the growing agitation by the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, for an independent nation. The minister said that investigation had shown that the use of illegal frequencies in the country has become very rampant and a threat to the nation's security. According to him, he noted that the Federal Executive Council, chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari, has been briefed about an investigation carried out by the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, and also sought for the approval of deploying hybrid spectrum monitoring system, most importantly to focus on the southern east zone of the country. Meanwhile, World Trade Organization WTO members have reportedly selected 2 final candidates, Nigeria's Ngozi Okonjo-IWEALA and South Korea's Yo Young-hee, to advance to the final round of the race to lead the Geneva-based trade body. It was stated that by advancing 2 women to the final round of the selection process, the WTO will likely have the first female Director General in its 25-year history. It was reported that United Kingdom's Liam Fox, Kenya's Amina Chawaher Mohamed Jibril, and Saudi Arabia's Mohammed Mazyad Al-Tuwajiri did not secure enough support in the second round of consultations. The third and final phase of the consultation process will begin later this month and run until November 6, after which the WTO will endeavor to name a consensus winner of the race. Meanwhile, WTO General Council Chairman David Walker plans to formally announce the results to the institution's delegates today in Geneva. On the foreign scene, the movement of all cloven-hoofed animals and their products has been banned after an outbreak of foot and mouth disease (FMD) was confirmed in Namibia's Kavango East region. It was reported that all animal gatherings such as auctions and cultural shows are suspended except for the purposes of vaccinations, while slaughtering of cloven-hoofed animals is also suspended. In a statement by the Agriculture Ministry Executive Director Percy Misika, he stated that all movement of animals across the Namibian or Angolan international borders has also been suspended. Misika said surveillance teams have been sent to the region to establish the extent of the outbreak. It has, however, gathered that so far investigations by officials showed that 13 out of 657 cattle tested positive for FMD. 18 people who took part in a banned anti-government protest were ordered yesterday to stand trial next week, with 9 others put behind bars in the meantime. They were among hundreds of Algerians who took to the streets Monday to demand democratic change and mark the anniversary of 1988 demonstrations that ushered in reforms. It was gathered that 9 of those detained 2 days ago were allowed free, while 9 were incarcerated. However, the trial of these 18 protesters will take place on October 14th. 8 face charges of involvement in an unarmed gathering and incitement to disturbing the peace, while the 9th is accused of attacking the country's president. In sports, the Super Eagles, along with their officials, will today undergo another round of COVID-19 tests ahead of Friday's international friendly match against the Benin of Algeria. It was, however, reported that the players are fit as a fiddle. The test is mandatory as per the lay-down protocols in view of the coronavirus pandemic. Meanwhile, aside the match against the African champions Algeria, the coach general-led side will also face off against Tunisia next Tuesday, with both matches to be played behind closed doors in line with COVID-19 protocols at the Jacques Le Mans Arena. The German coach said the newly invited players have been impressive in training, and there's the possibility that some might be thrown into the thick of action in these upcoming international friendly matches. Meanwhile, Premier League clubs splashed £1.24 billion on new signings this summer in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. The figure represents a £160 million decrease from last season, but is still £70 million more than was spent in the summer of 2016. Chelsea were the league's top spenders, splashing £226.1 million on fresh talent, including Timo Werner, £45 million, Hakim Ziyech, £37 million, Edouard Mendy, £22 million, and Ben Chilwell, £30 million. It was reported that their headline recruit, Kai Havertz, was the league's most expensive new acquisition, arriving from Bayer Leverkusen for £70 million. However, the Blues were able to splash the cash after being restricted by transfer embargo last season and by getting good fees for the likes of Alvaro Morata and Mario Pasalic. Manchester City were unsurprisingly second biggest spenders, splashing the cash on Nathan Ake, £41 million, and Ferran Torres, £37 million early in the window. With that, we come to the end of the news. A recap of the headlines. Oyo begins oral interview for 7,000 teaching applicants. OKONJO-IWEALA makes final 2 in WTO race. Namibia bans cattle movement following foot-mouth disease outbreak. And in sports, Eagles undergo COVID-19 test for Algeria. Please do not forget to always adhere to COVID-19 safety measures. The news was compiled by Amanda Anele. I'm Kendi Duritilu. Thanks for watching.